Namaste. Hi. Lovely to have you here, to meet you here across all time, space and dimensions, for us both to be right here, right now. It's truly an honour and a privilege. My name's Mandi J Nelson, and I am the author of a new book called Awakening My Spiritual Heart. More about that a little later. I am known in Perth, Western Australia, as being a yoga and meditation teacher. I love to teach yoga on the beach and to facilitate really unique group experiences. I've got some beach yoga coming up soon, so if you live north of the river and you want to connect in, or you want to travel from south of the river, or perhaps somewhere a little bit more exotic, then just send me a message on Facebook or send me an email and I'll let you know the details on that. Also, I'm known to hold ceremonies here in Perth. I've been doing that for the last 7 or 8 years. To begin with, I connected in with the Unify work and was holding water ceremonies. And that kind of led to holding Three Wishes water ceremony. This year, we do that. To begin with, we did that actually at the first full moon of each year. And then over the last couple of years, it's fallen on the 1st of January. I think the full moon, probably about 3 years ago, fell on January the 1st, so it was absolutely perfect. And then we just decided it was better to hold this ceremony because the 1st of January is such a massive portal point where people are looking at creating intention for what they wish to see manifest within their lives, for the next year, for the next Gregorian calendar year. So a perfect opportunity to gather large groups of people. And the Three Wishes water ceremony is encouraging people to, they bring down a jar and then they fill that up with the water, and then they work with the water for the next 3 days based on Masaru Emoto's work, who basically scientifically showed that our intention, our thought, has an effect upon the water. So at the end of the 3 days, people release this water into a larger body of water. So the possibility of what is changed and affected within their intention is absolutely infinite. Encouraged to create 3 wishes, one for themselves, a personal sankalpa, personal intention, one for the community that they live in, for the greater global community. So yeah, I've got that coming up on January the 1st. I've been helped with that right at the very beginning with Alison and Graham Jarrett, and a lot of people from up in the Perth Hills came and assisted with that. More recently, Christine Morrison, Tim Morrison, Sammy Davies have been assisting too. My beloved John Wife. Last year we had Dan Samways. So yeah, it gathered about 350 people last year. So really looking forward to seeing much more people will come down here, at least 350 or more. January the 1st. Again, if you want any information on that, just send me a message on Facebook. Follow me on Facebook, Mandi J Nelson Teacher. And aside from that ceremony, I've also got, I hold women's ceremonies 4 times a year at the equinox points and also at the solstice points as well. Again, these are really massive portals. And when we gather large groups together, we create a unified field. We create a group harmonic. So powerful times for us to gather as a group, powerful for the change that the group can impact upon the globe and the greater good for all, but also very powerful for our own sankalpas to maintain or to have a much greater force. So I always say to the women that come along to these, you are now setting an intention for the next 3 to 6 months. Depends whether they're going to connect again with the equinox points. And every time you step out towards that intention, you're going to have, let's say we had 90 women at the ceremony, you're going to have another 89 women standing behind you. And I think, you know, it's really important work for women, for us to come together in sisterhood, in sacred sisterhood, and to really support one another. So yeah, I teach yoga and meditation. I offer ceremonies. I also work as a funeral, I'm trying to think of the word, but basically hold funeral ceremonies as well. Something that's not really well known about me. I love to create really sacred honourings, to really celebrate the life of the person that has transitioned. You'll read my book and you will see my own experiences with death of those loved ones around me, people that were really close. Death was something that touched me fairly early on in the piece, as well as my own experiences with death as well. And I also work as a photographer. I love to capture people's images. I love to reflect the beauty that I see within all humans. I love to reflect that back and, you know, show that to a person in the images that I've captured. Really, all of my work is about dancing with the light and infusing more light into the cells, so that if I'm taking a photo of someone, and then let's say it's a family photo or it's a wedding photo, I want, when it's blown up, you know, I want people to be able to walk into a room and if it's a wedding photo, feel the love, you know, they can, it's just bouncing off the page. So yeah, that's a real passion. I was really blessed because my grandfather was a photographer, and so I've carried his genes. So it wasn't something that I really had to put a great deal of work into doing. Of course, I have an incredibly good camera, so that makes taking photos really, well, for me, because I have the genetic coding, it just makes the photos come out really, really beautiful. And as part of that, along my path, I film people before they die. So that's a real soul passion. I'm really incredibly passionate about that, recording people's stories. It's a word of mouth thing. So I've done perhaps a dozen, 15, and usually it's with people before they pass. They may be elderly, or they may be passing from cancer, and particularly those with children, young children. And it's such a unique gift. I just feel that in this day and age, with the technology that we have at hand, it's really a responsibility of those that are passing, as well as those relatives of those that are close enough to those that are passing, particularly those with young children, to record, you know, just to record them speaking, saying what they loved about their life and their greatest memories and what it felt like to fall in love and what they were like at school, and all of these little things that it's so important to have a tangible record of. And because we have this incredible technology at our hands these days, it's just such a delight for me. It's my soul work to capture this on behalf of families and on behalf of those that are passing and transitioning. And yes, last but not least, I have written this book. So I do work on a one-on-one with people to assist them to awaken their spiritual heart, to release that which binds them. And really, this is what the book is about. It's about transcending stories. You know, we've all got stories. And many of us, myself included, to some degree, you know, like to pretend that all is good and yeah, we never did anything wrong. And the truth of the matter is we all have stories, and in many cases they're held within the physical body, which is why for me yoga has been a saving grace. Or they are actually holding the keys to the operating system of the mind without us even realizing most of the time, based on the 8 limbs of yoga. But that is just the theme, if you like, that I have allowed to, or I have called in, I have invited to be the thread through my stories. So you can get a copy of this book on my website. And I wrote it, well, I was actually told by Spirit that I would write this book. Well, I had to write this book before I turned 50. So, of course, I left it right up until the last minute, until I turned 49. And then was so blessed in that I'd probably been writing it for the last, well, I knew at the age of 23, 24 that I was going to write the book. So I probably, it just came hurling out. It was purged. It was a complete purge. And I was really blessed to be in Copenhagen with my beautiful partner, John. And we were both writing. I was upstairs writing and he was downstairs writing. And there was ocean just in front of us, maybe 20, 30, 50 metres maximum in front of us. And some days I would come downstairs just ashen or grey, he says. And he would just say, Mandy, get in the ocean, go and cleanse. And I was so blessed to be able to do that. And the book has taken a lot of courage to release. I'm really, really honest, and I felt very, very vulnerable. And I remember waking up in abject terror and feeling so sick about actually releasing the book, because I'm just sharing so much of myself and saying to John, I don't think I can do this. Like, this is probably a really, really big mistake. And he was really encouraging and was just, well, you know, come on, Mandi J, you can do this. You know that this is what you're here to do. And so I found the courage. Even 5 days before the book launch, I wanted to pull out from releasing it. So that just goes to show you how much I'm really bearing my soul. The messages I'm getting back from people are thanking me for having the courage and the honesty, for being so vulnerable and allowing myself to be so raw. So I just really hope that readers become really inspired and have the courage to own all of their stories and to move beyond them, to really strive to be the very best version of themselves that they can. It's imperative where we're positioned as beings upon a planet that we move beyond the debauchery and we move beyond the moderate behaviour and we move into the ascension. And the pathway to our ascension is becoming the very best version of ourselves that we possibly can be. And this book, Awakening My Spiritual Heart, is my stories and my path of purification and the way that I have ascended out of the darkness and into the light. So if you feel drawn to read the book, you can grab a copy on my Facebook page or on my website, www.mandijnelson.com. It would make a great Christmas gift or any type of gift. It's not just for yogis, it's for a much wider audience, basically anyone with a spiritual inkling, anyone that feels deep, deep down inside that we are here for a little bit more than owning a fast car or a beautiful house. For people that are really delving deep and are on the path of awakening their spiritual heart. So before I finish up, I'd just like to share with you that there's a hashtag, Awakening My Spiritual Heart. If you read the book, or if you want to tag anything and utilize the hashtag, that'd be amazing. I look forward to sharing with you some more about the book. I hope you have a better understanding now as to why I wrote the book, and I just want to say that it's been an honour and a privilege to share this time and this space and energy with you. So wishing you well, in love and gratitude. Thank you.